Results are not in their hands.
Yes, sir.
Karmanyavadikaraste ma phelishu kadacha.
Yes, sir.
Results are not in.
Yes, sir.
What is in your hand is your karma.
Yes, sir.
What you do.
Yes, sir.
So I would advise all these students to focus totally on their action. For any idea to fructify, it has
Yes,
to be politically acceptable,
Yes, sir.
socially desirable,
Okay.
technologically feasible, financially viable,
Yes, sir.
administratively doable,
Yes, sir.
judicially tenable, emotionally relatable,
Yes, sir.
and environmentally sustainable. I used to feel very uneasy with politicians.
Yes, sir.
And that's why I ended up fighting with quite a few of them.
Yes, sir.
Because I didn't realize that politicians also have limitations within which they work.
Yes, sir.
They are also human beings.
Yes, sir.
They have certain objective in mind.
Yes, sir.
And like us, they are good, bad, and ugly politicians.
Yes,
And like in civil service, they're good, bad, and ugly civil servants.
Yes, sir.
They are part of the society.
Yes, sir.
So, and secondly, I also realized that I can't do much to them.
Yes.
So then the focus shifted on me.
Okay.
I said, how do I adjust to the surroundings without doing anything wrong? The mental fitness is a function of your likes and dislikes. It's all a question of that.
Yes.
You will never postpone a thing that you like. Discipline is the key to success.
Yes, sir. How to build it?
Now, building success, discipline is through one of the major problems that an aspirant faces is
Yes.
that he's unable to recall what he's read.
Yes, sir.
Number of aspirants tell me, sir, I padha, bhul gaya. Aspirants not to read the entire newspaper because there's a lot of trash in the newspapers.
Okay.
There are 3 pages that are important.
Okay.
Page 1 is the editorial page.
Yes, sir.
That is the gist of current affairs.
Okay.
And it is beneficial in a number of ways.
Okay.
You develop logic, you develop analytical skills, you get information,
Yes,
you know how to present an idea. If you don't enjoy that moment,
Yes, sir.
then you will try and somehow postpone.
Yes.
You don't postpone anything that you enjoy. Work hard, discipline yourself, and do your karma.
Okay.
If you do that properly, if you are enjoying the journey, the chances are that you'll succeed.
So basically, enjoy the process, enjoy the learning.
Absolutely. Enjoy the process.
Hello, everyone. I am Nishan Nirlav Kashyap, and I welcome you all to Unfiltered Conversations. Here on this podcast, we aim to bring you interesting conversations from which you can learn and grow. Our first guest today is Mr. Anil Swarup, who has been a retired IAS officer and also served as the former secretary to the Government of India. He also has authored 4 books and written extensively around the life of becoming a civil servant and a journey of becoming a civil servant. So I hope that from these conversations, you all can pick a lot from the experience of Mr. Anil Swarup. So first, I'd like to ask you, there is a lot of hesitation in the students while they come for this examination. Will they be able to succeed in the examinations or not? What is your take on it? So what should we think?
See, first of all, everyone must understand that
Yes.
results are not in their hands.
Yes, sir.
Karmanyavadikaraste ma phelishu kadacha.
Yes.
Results are not in it.
Yes, sir.
What is in your hand is your karma.
Yes, sir.
What you do.
Yes, sir.
So I would advise all these students to focus totally on their action,
Actions.
how they prepare. It's very important. So long as they enjoy the process of preparation,
Yes, sir.
the chances are that they will succeed.
Yes.
If they are overburdened by the result, then they will be under pressure.
Yes.
And if you are under pressure, your comprehension goes.
Yes.
If you are relaxed, you understand better, you
Yes.
learn better.
Yes.
So my advice to all the aspirants would be to take it in a very relaxed manner.
Slowly and steadily.
If not necessarily slowly, but enjoy.
Enjoy the journey.
Enjoy the journey as you go along. And if you enjoy the journey, the chances are that you'll succeed.
Yes, sir. But in this examination, one of the major problems nowadays is there's a lot of resources that is available in the market. So how do they choose the potent resources?
It's a very serious problem.
Yes, sir.
In my time when I appeared for the IAS,
Yes, sir.
we used to go to library to
study.
select.
Yeah.
Today, there's so much resource available.
Yes, sir.
And that is why the role of coaching institute becomes very important.
Okay.
Instead of teaching people, they should be able to guide the aspirants. Guide them into determining which material they should read.
Okay.
Because the time is limited. They can't read so much.
Yes.
These days, another very important thing has happened. You have videos
Yes, sir.
on YouTube and
Yeah,
otherwise.
yes, sir.
But again, there are so many.
Yes, sir.
So the job of coaching institute should be to select 1 or 2 YouTubes for each topic.
Okay.
What I usually suggest is
Yes.
that instead of making notes,
Yes.
the coaching center should be able to suggest which book is the best for each topic.
Okay.
So for every topic, there will have to be a separate book, or there could be 3-4 topics in one book.
Yes.
For example,
Okay.
in Indian economy,
Yes, sir.
there used to be a book called Rudradatta and KPM Sundaram. It is considered to be good now.
Yes. Yes, sir.
So that will probably cover all the topics of
Yes.
Indian economy.
Yes.
But there could be a possibility that a book may not have all the topics.
Yes.
So the job of the guide
Yes.
is to identify which book is the best for each topic.
Okay. But there's like when people go, like students go to these coaching centers, there's usually a FOMO that this person is reading a certain book and I'm not reading this book. So should I also read this book? And that happens in the competition.
You are right. You are right. What happens is you look at others and try and imitate.
Yes, sir.
Or feel complex.
Yes, sir.
That he studied this,
Yes,
he
sir.
studied
Yes,
that.
sir. Yes, sir.
The aspirant should understand very clearly that each individual has different sets of attributes.
Okay.
That is one. Number two, they must understand that he cannot acquire all the knowledge.
Yes, sir.
Because that's not possible.
not
Even now I'm learning.
Yes, sir.
So if someone asks me, I may not have answers to many questions.
Yes, sir.
So there will always be limitation.
Yes,
My suggestion to students is that they should learn whatever they are learning well,
Yes, sir.
instead of trying to know everything about everything.
Yes, sir.
Whatever they do, they should do well. That is one. Number two,
Yes.
once they have decided on a book,
Yes.
they should focus on that book.
Okay.
No book can be said to be complete in all respects.
Yes.
Like no human being is perfect.
Yes, sir.
There will always be shortcomings.
Yes, sir.
You have to live with that.
Yes, sir.
Whatever is available, focus and study that.
Yes, sir. And nowadays, like current affairs plays a very important role in this examination. So how to cover the current affairs? It's so large.
So there is no definition of current affairs.
Yes, sir.
Anything could come in
Anything
current. Anything that is current could be an affair.
Yes, sir.
So there could be a problem.
Yes.
So my suggestion is as follows.
Yes.
Newspaper is the best source of current affairs,
Yes, sir.
not the entire newspaper.
Okay.
I advise
Okay.
aspirants not to read the entire newspaper because there's a lot of trash in the newspapers.
Okay.
There are 3 pages that are important.
Okay.
Page 1 is the editorial page.
Yes, sir.
That is the gist of current affairs.
Okay.
And it is beneficial in a number of ways.
Okay.
You develop logic, you develop analytical skills, you get information,
Yes.
you know how to present an idea.
Yes, sir.
So the best page in a newspaper is the editorial page.
Yes, sir.
So I would advise all the aspirants to read the editorial page totally
Yes, sir.
from end to end and try and absorb as much as they can. That is page 1.
Okay.
The second page important is on economy,
Okay.
because there is a page on economy minus the news about market and share market.
Yes, sir.
Other news should be read and understood.
Okay.
And third is the page on international relations.
Okay.
So if these 3 pages are read, I think you're preparing yourself for current affairs.
Okay.
It can then be supplemented by notes given by whichever coaching institute you're going. Every coaching institute
Okay.
comes up with weekly, quarterly, or fortnightly reports on
Yes,
what is
sir.
happening around. That's
Yes,
good
sir.
enough. They will be able to relate to both of them.
Okay, sir.
Beyond it, I think they should not worry about acquiring knowledge about current affairs.
Okay. Then, sir, revision also plays an important part in this process.
Yes, revision is important. I have suggested
Yes, sir.
various levels of revision.
Yes, sir.
First revision should happen as soon as you are reading.
Okay.
You know, one of the major problems that an aspirant faces is
Yes.
that he's unable to recall what he's read.
Yes, sir.
Number of aspirants tell me, sir, I padha, bhool gaya. So how do you remember? Now, this is very important what I'm going to tell.
Yes, sir.
First, when you read it in a very focused manner. That is, no disturbance. You are totally, many of us read, but we are not reading.
We are not reading this.
So you have to be in it. So read it properly.
Yes.
Second, as you read, try and understand.
Okay.
If you are unable to understand something, take a note of it and then go to Google or somebody, find explanation.
Okay.
But understanding is the key to learning.
Okay.
So read properly, understand. The third is very important.
Okay.
After you've read and after you've understood, keep the book down and reflect on what you read for 5 minutes.
Okay.
That's the first revision.
Okay.
I call it the first revision.
Okay.
Many people don't do this.
Okay.
Read, understand,
Okay.
reflect.
Okay.
And then the fourth step. Fourth step is discuss.
Okay.
If you can read, understand, reflect, and discuss, the chances are you will be able to retain it.
Okay. But
So
is there a
that's-
specific period of time, like when we should revise after 5 days? There's a rule. Like
No. I won't suggest 5 days revision.
Okay.
If you've read it properly, if you understood it, if you've
Okay.
reflected, and if you discussed,
Yes.
then 5 days. Then you complete the course and then go back for it.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Don't keep revising in between
Yes.
because you'll get confused.
Okay.
You read through the entire course, one chapter or the other, but follow this logic.
Okay.
And then once you've read it, then go back to revision.
Okay.
That I call the second revision.
Okay.
And they should have multiple revisions before the exam.
Yes, sir.
And if they have properly made the points as they are reading,
Yes, sir.
then the revision will happen not through reading all over again,
Yes.
only reading those points.
Yes.
So I don't suggest people making notes, but they must make points.
Yes, sir.
Because I had taken law as a subject,
Yes, sir.
I could revise the entire course in one day.
Okay.
Because I had done multiple revisions, and ultimately by looking at the points, I could recall what I have read.
Okay. The short notes are also very important, like making
Very short,
crisp notes.
very short, not long notes.
Yes, sir.
Short notes so that you can recall what you've read.
Okay.
That should be the objective.
Okay, sir. Also, sir, while like preparing for current affairs. You said the newspapers are full of trash and everything. So also it's very important, I feel, to know the backstory of things currently in the present context. In politics also, there's something happening in the background, and what is shown in the forefront is always very different. What is your take on that?
So that's where editorial is important.
Yes, sir.
Editorial articles
Yes, sir.
look at the entire background of any issue they are discussing.
Okay.
So if you see there are 2 to 3 articles every day.
Okay.
So imagine if you read it in a year.
Yes, sir.
How many? 1,000 topics you are covering.
Yes, sir.
You would have covered almost everything. And each article will have the background of that issue.
Yes, sir.
Because no one writes an article without the background.
Yes, sir.
When they analyze it, they will go into what was the past, what is the present, what are the critical parameters,
Yes, sir.
what are the pros, what are the cons, and the conclusion.
Yes,
That's
sir.
how an article is.
Yes, sir.
That's why editorial articles are extremely important.
Okay. Yes, sir. Also, sir, if we see that the UPSC exam is a 1-year-long journey, like first we have the prelims and mains and then interview. It takes 1 year to complete the examination itself, then you get selected and everything. So it takes a lot amount of discipline also. So how to build a discipline?
Discipline is the key to success.
Yes, sir. How to build it?
Now, building success, discipline is through working out a routine that you have.
Okay.
To start with, plan. How do you plan? First, look at how do you are spending the day now.
Okay.
Write it down.
Okay.
I wake up at this time, this is what I do. How much time you spend on this idiot box.
Yes, sir.
So you will identify how much time you're wasting. For example, maximum wastage is on this.
Yes, sir.
Second is, if you're studying somewhere, what do you do while traveling from home to that educational institution?
Yes, sir.
What do you do when you're free there? Because all classes are not one after the other.
Uh-huh.
So you have to identify your free time.
Yes, sir.
And once you identify your free time, then start allocating what you will do. So for example, I usually advise people to do physical exercises for 1 hour,
Okay.
45, regularly every day, part of the curriculum.
Okay.
Now, when you do that exercise, what are you thinking? It's your physical exercise.
Yes.
What are you doing mentally?
Okay. Okay.
So I used to walk for about an hour every day.
Okay.
And that 1 hour from 5 to 6 in the evening used to be the time for my revision.
Okay.
So whatever I had read during the day, I used to revise.
Okay.
I used to walk quickly and revise.
Okay.
So you have to work out and see how do you utilize every moment. Now, if you don't enjoy that moment,
Yes, sir.
then you will try and somehow postpone.
Yes.
You don't postpone anything that you enjoy. You like an ice cream, you go for it,
Will
you
more
eat
and
it, do anything for ice cream.
Yes, sir.
But if you don't like ice cream, you will try and postpone it.
Yes.
All postponement happens if you don't like.
Yes.
So you have to develop that liking for it, and liking comes from enjoying those moments as also by looking at the ultimate objective. Look at how a mother cares for a child.
Yes, sir.
She sacrifices, yet she enjoys.
Yes, sir.
If she were not enjoying,
Yes, sir.
I mean, she sometimes is in pain,
Yes, sir.
but she still enjoys it
Enjoying the process.
because she's looking at the future of the child.
Yes.
She's committed to the child.
Yes.
So that sort of a commitment has to come for the UPSC examination for
Yes.
anybody to qualify.
Yes, sir. Sir, like for discipline also, consistency is a big thing. Like you have to be consistent to be disciplined. The big problem nowadays is as you rightly mentioned, social media or the mobile phones. It's highly addictive. Like people are watching reels nowadays, short contents.
So what I tell them,
Yes, sir.
get it away physically for 22 hours.
Yes, sir.
Give it to your parents.
Okay.
Don't keep it with you.
Okay.
If you keep it with you, then you won't be able. It is addictive.
Mhm.
And you have this erroneous impression that until you look at it, the world will come to a halt.
Yes.
So we all believe in that.
Yes.
I mean, I can afford to do that after retirement.
Yes, sir.
But a person preparing for civil service cannot. He should have to physically remove this from his possession.
Okay, sir. But what about then if he happens to watch any video of like
2 hours.
Yes, sir. Okay, 2 hours he'll watch.
You have 2 hours.
Yes, sir.
You keep noting this. I'll watch on my phone. This I'll watch on phone.
Okay.
You have 2 hours. 2 hours is good enough to watch video.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Converse with anybody. 2 hours.
Yes, sir.
Good enough.
But sir, it's highly addictive. Like once, like already a person who has lost his attention span, because attention span is greatly affected by the reels and everything. So how does he regain it?
So the point is, how do you change your habit?
Yes.
Whatever that habit.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Yes.
The question is,
Main question.
you got into a habit,
Yes.
you want to change it. I'll give you my personal example and
Yes.
give a suggestion.
Yes, sir.
When I was appearing for the civil service exam, I had
Yes.
taken law as a subject and had not studied law.
Okay.
And I had to learn 700 case studies details.
Okay.
So I rang up a friend of mine. I asked him, यार कैसे तैयारी करें? ये तो मुश्किल है. He said, सुबह उठ के करना पड़ेगा.
हाँ.
Morning time is the best time.
Yes.
Okay. Now I used to study in the night and sleep during the day.
Okay.
So how do you change that habit?
Yes, sir.
So a habit can be changed if you associate that change with something which you like or you're passionate about.
Acha.
I was passionate about cricket. I'm still passionate about cricket.
Okay.
During that time, Indian team was going to Australia
Okay.
and they were playing 5 test matches. In Australia, the test match starts at 5:30 IST, Indian Standard Time.
Okay.
So I woke up for 25 days at 5:30 because I wanted to listen to commentary. Those days we didn't have television.
Yes, sir.
So listening to the commentary 5:30, I woke up for 25 days.
Okay.
Even now I wake up at 6 o'clock. I got into the habit of waking up early.
Yes, sir.
So associate with something which you like. So I jokingly tell people, get a hold of a girlfriend who rings you up at 5:30 in the morning.
Okay.
You'll wake up. She does it for 10, 15 days, you'll get into the habit of waking up early in the morning. So associate with something which you like.
Okay.
Or some motivation that drives you.
Okay.
So like mother sacrifices for a child, that sacrifice then becomes a habit.
Yes, sir.
Then you don't feel pain.
Yes, sir.
You know, there is something called a tipping point. Once you get into that mode,
Yes.
then it becomes your second nature. But it requires a lot of effort till that time that you
Yes.
change.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So that journey is a difficult one.
Okay.
But if you're driven by some objective, if you're driven by something which you like, then the chances that you'll change.
Okay, so the first step is to physically get away from the phone.
Oh, this of course.
Then
This is
Yes,
this
sir.
is
Big difference.
easy and difficult. Easy because it's physically available.
Yes, sir.
Other habits are not physical.
Yes.
They're psychological.
Yes.
So there is a physical instruments that keep you. Take it away.
And also, sir, how to like control and keep yourself mentally fit? Because physically, though, we know we can go to the gym, we can just work out.
See, mental fitness is a function of your likes and dislikes. It's all a question of that.
Yes.
You will never postpone a thing that you like.
Okay.
You will try and postpone things that you don't like.
Yes, sir.
So you have to develop a liking for that.
Okay.
You have to develop that liking, as I said earlier,
Yes, sir.
comes from your ultimate objective. So, for example, an athlete who has to participate in Olympics
Yes, sir.
sacrifices, practices so much.
Uh-huh.
But if he doesn't like that process, he will never reach there. So he develops a liking. So he sees every day, a weightlifter
Yes, sir.
or a bodybuilder will every day see, okay, now my muscle is coming up. Okay. So he feels good about it.
Yes, sir.
How does he do it? He enjoys every step.
Yes.
He enjoys every small achievement.
Yeah,
So what the aspirant has to do is to enjoy small achievements. So for example, like I was studying political science.
Yes.
So the day I understood Plato well, I felt good about it. Oh, I've understood Plato.
Okay.
No, it's nothing to do directly with the exam. But I was enjoying those moments, those journeys, and that helped me
The
reach
knowledge
the
that you are
destination.
gaining through the journey.
See, knowledge itself is so satisfying.
Yes, sir.
When you gain knowledge, you feel good.
Yes.
You feel empowered.
Yes.
That itself, you should live in that feeling.
Yes, sir.
So you have to have those small victories
Yes, sir.
for achieving the final victory.
Yes, sir. So while gaining the knowledge also, what are the other things this journey teaches us? Like this is a 1 year long journey.
So this journey teaches a lot.
Yes, sir.
It teaches you to become disciplined.
Yes, sir.
It enables you to understand that an organized life can be very beneficial.
Yes.
Then of course your knowledge levels go up
Yes,
phenomenally.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Then it also helps you understand the importance of sacrifice. You sacrifice so many things
Yes,
that you like.
Yes, sir.
So these are the attributes that you develop.
Yes.
And if you prepare properly,
Yes, sir.
it improves your analytical skills.
Yes, sir.
It improves your communication skills, because without that you won't be able to succeed in exam.
Yes, sir.
So apart from the final result, there are enormous amounts of benefits. So if you have these benefits in mind,
Yes,
you will never feel aggrieved.
Yes, sir. Like,
You will say, I'm benefiting.
yes, sir.
Whether I qualify or not, I'll have more knowledge. Whether I qualify or not, I'll have better analytical skills. Whether I qualify or not, I'll have better communication skills. So many things are developing.
Yes, sir.
Whether I like it or not, we become more disciplined. I'm prepared to sacrifice. So these are attributes that you develop as you prepare for the civil service
Yes,
exam.
So also you have written a book, Ethical Dilemmas of a Civil Servant. So in that book, like normally also if we speak about, civil servants have to face like many ethical dilemmas. For example, the pressure of politicians. You rightly like spoke about it. So what is your take on it? Like how to tackle
See,
that?
the issue that I understood during my career was,
Yes, sir.
in the beginning, I used to feel very uneasy with politicians.
Yes, sir.
And that's why I ended up fighting with quite a few of them.
Yes, sir.
Because I didn't realize that politicians also have limitations within which they work.
Yes, sir.
They are also human beings.
Yes, sir.
They have certain objective in mind.
Yes, sir.
And like us, they are good, bad and ugly politicians.
Yes, sir.
Like in civil service, they're good, bad and ugly civil servants.
Yes, sir.
They are part of the society.
Yes, sir.
So, and secondly, I also realized that I can't do much to them.
Yes.
So then the focus shifted on me.
Okay.
I said, how do I adjust to the surroundings without doing anything wrong?
Okay.
So I understood this subtle difference between accommodation and compromise.
Okay.
So accommodation is nothing illegal, but you're understanding the other person and trying to accommodate. Illegal, obviously, if he tells me anything, I won't compromise on any legal rules.
Okay.
So this became gradually clear to me. And once that clarity came to my mind,
Yes.
I had a great relationship with politicians.
Yes.
They also understood that I will not do anything wrong.
Okay.
But they also understood that if they told me anything right, that should be done immediately.
Okay.
So I was not looking at politicians with any prejudice.
Okay.
My whole approach became much more objective.
Okay.
The objective was to help anybody who came to me, including politicians,
Okay.
provided it was not against the law.
Okay.
If that be the case, I came to an adjustment which was not illegal,
Okay.
but I could deliver so many other things.
Okay. So like basically you adapt to the situation. Like
You have to,
Okay.
because you can't change it.
Okay.
There is a couplet by somebody attributed to Ghalib. It's not Ghalib,
Okay.
but it's like this: Umr bhari yahi bhool karta raha Ghalib, dhool chehre pe thi aina malta raha. So you can keep blaming somebody else for your wrongs. He may be responsible,
Yes, sir.
but you can't do anything to him. So
Yes.
focus on yourself.
Okay.
खुद ही को कर बुलंद इतना कि हर तकदीर से पहले खुदा बंदे से कुछ पूछे बता तेरी रजा क्या है. So you have to evolve as an individual to be reckoned with.
Okay.
In fact, my second book, Ethical Dilemmas of a Civil Servant,
Yes, sir.
ends with this couplet,
Yes, sir.
because I'm exhorting my colleagues that you have to evolve as an individual.
Yes.
I benefited out of evolving as an individual
Yes, sir.
rather than focusing myself over what others are.
Yes.
They are what they are. I can't do much to them,
Yes.
but I can do a lot to myself.
Okay. So also, like you have been the Education Secretary of India. So, like, do you think that the education system we have right now, currently, specifically with the new education policy of 2020, so what changes need to be done now immediately for the new generation?
See, when education policy came,
Yes, sir.
I had not directly to do with it, but
Yes, sir.
at that point in time I was education secretary. But my concern was that what is given in the education policy is very correct. It's one of the finest education
Yes, sir.
policy. But I have always felt that for any idea to fructify, it has
Yes,
to be politically acceptable,
Yes, sir.
socially desirable,
Okay.
technologically feasible, financially viable,
Yes, sir.
administratively doable,
Yes, sir.
judicially tenable, emotionally relatable,
Yes, sir.
and environmentally sustainable.
Yes, sir.
So of these 8 dimensions, I think the financial viability part
Okay.
is the crux in education policy, because the rest of it is not a problem.
Okay.
Now, education policy says that they would require 6% of GDP to implement what is written in the education policy.
Okay.
Now, the highest ever allocation to education has been 3.1, and I don't see 6% will ever be. So that's the problem, that money is not available.
Okay.
But there's certain aspects of education policy which are very important, which do not require so much money.
Okay.
To me, teacher is the pivot of school education.
Okay. Sir.
If we can improve the issues relating or resolve issues relating to teachers,
Yes.
then a lot of education or quality of education will improve. I mean, it has been elaborated in my book,
Yes, sir.
but briefly speaking, whether it is pre-teacher education through B.Ed and D.Ed colleges, whether it is selection of teachers,
Yes, sir.
whether it is training of teachers when they are in service, all these are very, very important aspects.
Yes, sir.
As I said, teacher are the pivot.
Yes.
When I came to education,
Yes.
before that I was coal secretary.
Yes, sir.
And I thought I was moving out of dark dungeons of coal mines to bright lights of school education.
Yes.
To my utmost horror, I found that the education sector,
Yes.
the mafias are much worse than the mafias of the coal sector.
Okay.
The reason is very simple. Because in coal, all the mining was underground and mafias were overground.
Yes.
In education, they are all underground, eating into the essentials of Indian society.
Okay.
So there are serious issues with education, very, very serious.
Okay.
But a lot of it can be sorted out.
Yes.
And to me, the most important dimension of education, school education, is teacher.
Okay.
If we can address issues relating to teacher, much of our problems of education will go.
Okay, sir. But also, sir, what about the curriculum? Because many of the things, like for example, history, much of the history that we study is distorted to a large extent. So, what is it?
I am not very sure whether that's the right statement.
Okay.
I mean, on what ground do we say the history is distorted?
Okay.
My contention is, if there are any factual inaccuracies in history, they should be corrected.
Okay.
But to call all that has been sought in history to be distorted is wrong.
Okay.
There could be errors here and there,
Yes.
correct them.
Yes.
But I don't think we should be obsessed with history.
Okay.
To me,
Okay.
I can't change the past.
Yes, sir.
Past is dead and gone.
Yes.
The only relevance past has
Yes, sir.
for learning from the mistakes that we
Mistakes
have
we
made.
did. Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
Beyond it, it has no other relevance.
Okay.
I can't change it.
Yes.
So I should not be wasting too much time on history.
Yes, sir.
I should be spending more time on the present.
Present. Yes.
Because there's so many challenges of the present
Yes, sir.
and the time is limited.
Yes.
So whether I should spend the time in changing the history
Yes, sir.
or attempting to change my future by focusing on present.
Okay.
I am very clear in my mind.
Okay.
Focus has to be the present.
Okay.
History, if there are factual errors, is there evidence to it? Please correct it
Yes.
by all means.
Yes, sir.
But don't dub the entire history of the past as biased or
Okay.
distorted. I don't think that's correct. That's the correct
Okay.
statement. There may be factual inaccuracies which need to be
Okay,
corrected.
but the curriculum does it need to evolve to like incorporate more new
So-
ideas and everything?
Yes, but in history you can't have a new idea. History is gone.
Other subjects.
Yes, why not?
Yes.
The curriculum should.
Yes,
And
sir.
what NCRT, what new education policy says is very correct.
Yes, sir.
You have to evolve.
Yes,
The curriculum has to be more experience. The whole pedagogy has to go experiential learning.
yes, sir.
Curriculum has to also to account for the changes that are coming about.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely, I agree.
Okay, sir. So what do you recommend the youth, like basically the youth to, like what changes in their lifestyle should they make right now so that they can like have a more experiential learning? And
See,
stuff?
my suggestion to youth would be, I mean, they are probably much more knowledgeable than we were at that age.
Yes, sir.
They are much more exposed.
Yes, sir.
They are much more articulate,
Yes,
much
sir.
more demanding,
Yes,
much
sir.
more communicative.
Yes, sir.
There are many, many positive
Yes.
attributes of the young that we
Yes,
have.
sir.
The only problem that I see is the what I call has started calling the Maggie culture. They want everything in 2 minutes, everything quickly.
Yes, sir.
They have no time to go into the depth of understanding of issues.
Okay.
To
Yes,
me,
sir.
that's very critical.
Yes.
They should be able to analyze, go into the details, and not try and achieve results quickly.
Okay.
You know,
Yes,
good results require effort, it requires time, it requires analysis,
Yes, sir.
and hence a bit of patience.
Yes, sir.
Instead of doing that, if you jump from here, there, and try to get fast buck,
Yes,
make
sir.
a fast buck, or that could create
That
problems
would
for us.
Also, sir, like the social media algorithms that are currently running, it has been doing one thing. It has been polarizing the youth because it feeds only one kind of sets of information.
See, social media is an instrument.
Yes, sir.
It is like nuclear energy. It
Yes,
can be misused, it can be abused, it can be used.
Yes, sir.
The tragedy is some of us,
Yes, sir.
for our political ends,
Yes, sir.
are using social media in a manner that it should not be.
Yes, sir.
So social media is, it does not have its own value.
Yes, sir.
It's how I use it.
Yes, sir.
And some of us have been manipulating it
Yes,
to drive a wedge in the society, to create a particular narrative. That's not the problem of social media.
Yes.
Social media is a platform.
yes, sir.
If I'm misusing it, it's my problem, not the problem of social media.
Yes. But the youth have been like they get motivated by these things that are happening.
So the wrong is not with social media.
Yes.
The wrong is people
With
who are
the-
misusing it.
Yes, sir.
So there should be an attempt to create a counter narrative
Okay.
which is not as damaging as the narrative that is being created now. And, intellectuals, leaders, society leaders should make a conscious effort to counter the negativity that's going around
Okay.
in the society.
Okay.
I mean, we made a small effort by starting what we call the Nexus of Good,
Yes.
where we are trying to see, can we use social media to propagate good work that is
Good.
happening?
Yes, sir.
So I think small efforts like this will help and create much more positive environment in the society. And each one of us has a duty to do that.
Yes. So do you like just a small geopolitical context? Do you think like the Western propagandas or the Western narrative is being implemented here?
I
In
do
India.
think so. Which Western propaganda or narrative?
Like the narratives, because we see only one-sided narrative, only the narrative
Which is?
of the West. For example, the countries that are led by US, and we just see one side of the story, but we don't see the other side of the story.
No, fortunately, social media allows you to see all sides of the story.
But-
That's the beauty of social media. If I don't look at the other side of the story, it's my problem. I keep saying that.
Yes, sir.
You go to social media, you'll find other also.
Okay.
Other stories. Every story is available.
Yes.
Now, I have got it. It's like I'm so fond of masala, I'll only look for masala. It's not that others are not available.
Okay.
I look at other stories.
Uh-huh.
I look at both positive, negative, everything.
Yes.
That's the beauty of social media.
Yes, sir.
Now, the point is I am negative in my dispensation.
Yes.
So, the algorithm will be such that I'll be only shown those negative ones.
Yes, sir.
Here again, the problem is not with social media, it's
Yes,
with me.
Yes.
If I look at positive stories, I'll keep getting positive stories.
Yes, sir. That is a problem. Yes.
So the problem, I keep saying, social media is an instrument.
Yes, sir. How
It's
is
a platform. It's a question of how we use it.
Yes.
So each one of us has a duty towards positive use of social media. Why shouldn't we be doing that?
Yes, sir. So, okay, coming back to the preparation part, sir. Like you have written a book, UPSC CCE Navigating. How will this book help the aspirants?
See, this book, Navigating UPSC CSE, is written with the intention of enabling an aspirants to do well.
Yes.
What happens is,
Yes.
more often than not, everyone puts in a good effort.
Yes, sir.
But whether that effort is in the right direction,
Yes, sir.
whether he's picked up the right books,
Yes.
whether he's being guided correctly,
Yes.
these are important aspects that get ignored.
Yes, sir.
What is the approach? This book talks more about the approach.
Yes.
So when I talk about working in a manner or
Yes.
organizing your time frame
Yes.
or focusing on your communication skills or focusing on your analytical skills, no one talks about it.
Yes, sir.
My contention is very simple.
Yes.
If you don't know how to write, how will you write an answer?
Yes, sir.
You have to know how to write first.
Yes.
No one talks about developing those writing skills.
Yes.
No one talks about developing your communication skills.
Yes, sir.
So my contention or the contention in the book is,
Yes.
if you've done your soft skills well,
Yes, sir.
if you've done your groundwork,
Yes.
then main preparation becomes that much easier.
Yes, sir.
Then even in main preparation,
Yes.
how do you approach each subject?
Yes, sir.
Then it also talks about how do you approach the personality test.
Yes.
So these are aspects that have been written out in which the how part has been highlighted rather than what part.
Okay.
It's more process oriented.
Okay.
So anyone reading this book will come to understand that what approach that needs to be adopted to succeed in UPSC.
Basically, it will mentor also the youth.
It is virtually a mentorship book, so to say.
Yes.
It's a guide.
Yes, sir. So also one more question, like in today's world, like there are many jobs that are very high paying jobs. For example, students are also motivated by the IT sector. For example, social media influencers, they're earning a lot by just posting on social media. So why civil services as a career?
So it's again a personal choice.
Yes, sir.
Whether you want to be, in my time, there weren't so many choices. There are choices available and people are opting for those, and there are people who are opting for UPSC.
Yes, sir.
But I, in my book, first book, not just a civil servant, have written that if I were to be born again, I'd like to be an IAS officer.
Yes.
As I said, it's a personal choice. My experience of 37 years as an IAS officer and 1 year as police service officer revealed that there's so much potential in the service,
Yes, sir.
which to my mind is not available elsewhere. For example, the smile that you can bring to the poorest of the poor
Yes.
is absolutely amazing. I've narrated a number of instances where I felt so kicked and thrilled by doing what I did. I call them my Bharat Ratnas, which I don't think is possible in the private domain. But then it's wrong to compare.
Okay, sir.
In private domain also has positive things. There's a lot of money available. There's a lot of facilities. You can also do a lot of good.
Yes.
But my understanding is the spread of doing good
Yes, sir.
is far, far more as a civil servant than in the private domain.
Okay, sir.
But as I said, comparisons are odious. Everyone has to take a call. What do they want in life, and then make a conscious choice.
Okay, sir.
I would believe that civil service provides enormous opportunity
Yes, sir.
of doing good to the poorest of the poor
Yes.
people, poorest of the society,
Yes.
society at large, and derive enormous amount of satisfaction in helping those people who are helpless.
Yes. So, but the youth, like right now, like for Assam, I'm speaking about Assam, like they are like too scared of even applying for UPSC. Like they just want to go for like the small jobs, like the government exams, and they just look at civil services as an opportunity to grab a job, a government job. So, is this outlook correct or like?
See, again, as I said, these are personal choices.
Yes, sir.
Everyone has his own objective, his own insecurities.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
They want to have a job quickly.
Yes, sir.
All the apprehensions or fears are born out of insecurities.
Yes, sir.
I'm not sure whether I'll qualify for the civil service exam, so I take another exam.
Yes.
And everyone wants that security by getting a government job.
Yes, sir.
So these are very natural insecurities.
Yes, sir.
These are natural inclinations in people. The key question is, how do you overcome these insecurities that you have?
Yes, sir.
And there you must understand the cause of your insecurity.
Yes, sir.
What is the reason for that anxiety?
Yes.
What is the reason of that fear? Once you understand that, then the chances are you will be able to overcome them. We usually do not indulge in an interaction to understand the individual as to what are his apprehensions, what are the causes of his insecurities.
Yes.
Once you have that, you can sit and have a chat with them. So, for example, if somebody says the syllabus is too large for UPSC civil service exam, let us try and understand from him as to why does he think, because it's a competitive exam.
Yes.
Syllabus is large for every competitor.
Yes, sir.
You are not the only person saddled with so much course.
So much, sir.
So if everyone is on the same boat, what is the fear? I keep telling everyone that you say this is very tough, so it's tough for everyone.
Yes.
The course is huge, it's huge for everyone. You are not unique. So if everyone in the same boat, why should you fear?
Yes. So like any like kind of message to the youth you want to give?
No, my message to the youngsters is, you have no control over results, to focus on the moment.
Okay.
Work hard, discipline yourself, and do your karma.
Okay.
If you do that properly, if you're enjoying the journey, the chances are that you'll succeed.
So basically enjoy the process, enjoy the learning.
Absolutely. Enjoy the process.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.